What's up, everybody, and welcome to the latest Challenge of Doom. We are live tonight. Currently just me. I do have a special guest coming as well. They will be joining me a little bit later, but we are already going and starting, and we're going to find ourselves a game. We've got a couple great players already set up, so we will get them going as we'll see who it is. So we do have Blazy, we do have Jam. Jam is a almost 5-time Doom challenge after now. You know what? I'll unplug and replug it back in. There it goes. This mic's been so weird. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's just like it wants to work, it doesn't want to work. Sometimes unplugging and plugging it back in will do everything it can. So let's see. Blazy is playing Lugia. Let's actually go jump to Blazy real quick. Let's start getting ready for the Lugia matchups. So hopefully everyone's having a good day, having a good night as we're live here on a Tuesday night. As we are getting ready to get out of this format. And you might have noticed I upped the number of players from the cap. We had just more than enough people saying, oh man, am I stuck in the waiting room? Am I not? I'm like, this is close enough. We'll bring people in. So we've upped the cap. So it is now a 6-round tournament with a cap of 64. We're at more like 40, I think it was 43. Yeah, about 43 players. So I mean, people still want to come in, they can still come in, they still do their thing and be all good. We're just waiting for them to set up. Everyone should be going if they're not already. Which we will, our first matchup will have Jam and, oh, he's playing Snorlax Pidgeot going up against Chin-Pao Excalibur. So this could actually be a really good matchup, something that we haven't really seen before. And the interesting thing is, even though it is a Snorlax deck, and Snorlax decks can be some of the most boring decks you'll ever watch, this isn't just straight Snorlax. This doesn't just sit there, block, and pull the same control thing. There's a lot more to this deck. It's a very difficult deck to pilot. I'm trying it out myself. It is not easy. It only has one Snorlax. See, that's the thing. Like, let's look it up real quick. Oh wait, we went with Blazy. I'm sorry, we went with Blazy. Blazy's playing up against. He is playing up against Teddy Ursaluna. Okay then. But we still also have the Jam deck, which is interesting in itself, and the game is started. So let's get this one going. This one is Lugia versus Ursaluna Teddy Ursaluna. So I have no idea exactly how Ursaluna works. Oh, I actually have to look at this list. So the Ursaluna is looking to do a lot of damage, or is trying to be some sort of control style. I want to say it's the control style because it runs the Mimikyu, it runs the Chandelure, it runs the Pidgeots. So we end up with a control deck anyways, but who cares? It's a Challenge of Doom. We'll have fun. We'll make fun of control decks the whole time. And my guest will be joining me probably closer to round 2. They will be in. So we just see the Unfazed Fat. We just see the Mimikyu. So Blazy here starting the Snorlax was a very strong start for him. That allows him to be able to at least start attacking the Mimikyu if he is able to get the Archeops set up. Again, if you're just able to stream your matches, I don't care what record you are. We're just streaming whoever we can tonight. We have 6 rounds. Put interesting decks up like this. I put Blazy up because Blazy's amazing. Blazy, you're a great player. You're a champion of Doom. Every champion of Doom is an amazing player. And look, we already got like a control deck up against a Lugia, and this is way more interesting than. Yeah, but yeah, Lugia's got a good control matchup considering like it can energy accelerate to everything, and almost everything in the deck is meant to be an attacker. And that's one of the biggest things about like beating control decks it does everything you have in your deck able to fight back. Yeah, every win counts. So there'll only be 160. There should only be 160. Because I believe with this amount of players, because you go up to 64 and because there's no IDs, you should be hitting you should have 160. So they take the early price here. They're probably looking to get both of those up. And again, the Luminious energy I think is pretty good. I don't know if they have a way of getting that Luminion out of the deck, out of the active. But then again, this Ursaluna does not run anything that I think can stop it up there. It does play the Chandelier. But I don't see a way for it to activate. I just want to see that. I really do. I do want to see how this Ursaluna deck runs now because I've never seen it. And like it's a little bit like how we had Wug Trio Mill on during the Friday tournament. The Friday tournament we had it on and it did well, and we watched how it ran, and we kind of got an idea of how everything went with it. So like he can hit 200, the bulky bump, but aren't. Yeah, so we're seeing the attack. We're seeing the attack, and now it's really bulky enough. It seems like it's in a decent place. Unless Blazy plays something like Lost Vacuum. Which he does not. Yeah, Blazy plays I saw 2 minutes ago was a 1 collapse, no vacuum. But mind you, Lugia only needs to attack, only needs the ability for 1 turn. Ooh, he's gonna give up the Rotom? I mean, he could have ate a hit with the Pidgeot, but having the Rotom up there though does reactivate your reversal energies. You can also get your Pete back. Color me interested. So we just see the instant charge. It's always, I mean, that ability has been probably one of the best in the game right now. I don't think we'll see Cobalion come down. We'll see the Rotom go away. I wonder if I'll ever get Gigantamax back now. That has a lot of energy in their hand, though. I did see a meme today. Someone saying took it and changed Pidgeot's thing to just grab whatever you want, right? It made me think, like, now I can't do it because that would just be like kind of going off on a person. But taking the Ron Swanson meme of just taking Pidgeot's head, putting it over Ron Swanson, handing the thing, and just I can grab whatever I want. Pidgeot EX. And then on top of that, I don't know if anyone saw the list from the special event this weekend. There was a Charizard list. Now, if you've been part of this amount of these streams before, you've heard me complain about the Charizard matchup into Giratina. One of the deck lists put in V-Guard energy. You might be like, okay, what exactly does V-Guard energy do for them? You put that thing on the Pidgeot can't be KO'd without using the secondary attack from the Charizard. Now on top of that, if you attack with that Pidgeot, you knock out their paths to the peak, so you don't have to find a path as fast. I thought that was kind of an ingenious way of dealing with it. I was like, wow, okay, let's use that. So I want to test that before Vancouver. I haven't had an opportunity to. I've been testing some other stuff before that. Yeah, V-Guard and Zard. You use it as your 7th energy, and you use it specifically for any matchups where you need to protect your Pidgeot against stuff like Tina. It's like your one Tina attack on top of maybe having Choice Belt. Because then that allows your Pidgeot to like maybe even get an attack off. And a lot of people don't always remember that Pidgeot's attack does knock stadiums off. All right. All right, chat. Working up. I always say this is much easier when you have someone to talk to. Which, Mike, you're next week, so we'll have you on next week if people didn't already know. This week's original person had to cancel out, and then their backup had to cancel out. So we will have more things going. We have an issue. Issue. Looks like someone might have hit loss or something. Ooh, oh, there's the concession. All right, I want to see if any of the other tables are still going, since I can jump easily between them. Let's see what Savid's got going. Savid's always a good watch. His game is dying. Jam. His game is still going on.
There is a massive storm
So we'll definitely check that out. We'll see the other side of the table of the control table. Yeah, Blazy, it was just an atrocious matchup. Control does not like Lugia.
Hello there.
Hello there, everyone coming in from Moji Stream. I'm Senior Doom, professional illustrator, pretty decent. What's the word I'm looking for here? Tournament organizer. We're currently in round 1 of the new my second tournament series, the Challenge of Doom, which is the challenge style. We're running 6 rounds tonight. As we're going through, as we're watching our first round game, as we're watching Block Lax. This is like Block Lax, but it was Pidget EX. If you haven't seen this one, which we use like Mawile, Tempting Trap, various things to try to get everything going up against Chien-Pao Excalibur. But Chien-Pao Excalibur can attack and do lots of things. It's just really difficult in this matchup. So I am going to give out actually a shout out here to Moji. I screw up names all the time. You're not following them. They are a great streamer. They are on. You're on a lot of times actually. I think every time I get on, you're streaming, and that's dedication, dude. Also, if I remember, you're in Australia, right? But we are actually moving through this pretty quickly. We have about. He's from Southeast US. I don't remember. There was people who were like Australian who streamed like different times. I can never remember. But I do see him on streaming a lot more. See, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. You might as well be from Australia to me. I mean, Southeast US. Which also, I got my yep, unconceded. Matches are moving though. My artist edition of Boss for Game. Which is so great. I love this playmat, and I will probably be using it, and it's gonna be hilarious. And I'm probably gonna get like thrown out of like I want to say I'm gonna get thrown out of like Vancouver for playing it. Maybe, I don't know. I would need to bring my Ouija board one. My Ouija board one will always be the one everyone wants to see. So. Not gonna lie about that one. People show up and they're like, where's the Ouija board? Salami Bear, that is actually a good way of putting it. Arsenal Hell, yes. It's just no top cut. It's yeah, like if you've ever been to a challenge, is where like there'll be a 6-0, there'll be 1-6-0, that'll be your first, and then you go down from there, and then it's pretty easy from there. It moves a lot faster because we have the cap limit, which we capped it at 64 tonight. People play a lot more weird decks like this deck. This one right now is 1-0. It's Mew EX with Rory Moon, so it's in Absol. Like, I mean, it's got Rory Moon in it. It seems to be a Rory Moon deck, but it's not as much of a Rory Moon deck. It's starting playing 4 Mew EXs. It's a great tournament where you can test things and not have to worry about it. Yeah, let's look at the Absol day camp. How you doing tonight, dude? Oh, I think he's trying to Lost Zone Lost Claw. which is interesting. Well, yeah, like you see that, like that's like a weird. Like we have a Serena here, Arceus Gudra, Meta Man here, who's been trying to win with Entei Iron Valiant. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Rory Moon. Rory Moon is actually a very popular deck right now. I mean, Daycap and Savid are playing it. But Savid is playing the Palkia version. With cross-seamers? Yeah, like if you look at the metagame, here, I'm gonna keep updating standings as it is. It's Giratina, Rory Moon, Lost Zone Box, other Pinpao, Gardevoir, Serena, Mew, Spidops is making some comebacks. Straight Rotom. Espathra almost won the Tournament of Dumont last week. Amazing run from our Espathra player. It just didn't happen in the end. Entei Iron Valiant. Okay. This is a shout out to the Lake of Rage podcast. You can buy their merchandise at doomed-gaming.com. So there's like, oh yeah, there's no interest in propping them up too. Listen to him. Listen to the podcast this week where Tord talks over about what he did and why he played that. And like he was literally he played it because he would never get another chance to. But it's interesting listening to him talking about it, and like the deck will never work again once people realize because the list is out there and it can be beaten. And it's just like there's the element of surprise is gone. But if anything, yeah, it was like a mini challenge too. Like he wanted to try to use as many cards as one-offs he could, but he also didn't want to like entirely cripple the deck. So it wasn't like he didn't play one of every ball card. He played 4 Ultra Balls because, well, that was more consistent. But he was still trying to keep consistency in the deck, just not. But it's a good listen. It's a really good listen. All right, let's see what else we got here. We only got one Charizard tonight, but again, smaller tournament means smaller meta share sizes. Like there's more Serena. Like Napalm Facepalm here. Here's using Serena. I don't think we saw any cloths. VP Aaron Rodgers. But it's interesting. It's interesting to watch. Like Bennett, like there's been some people I've been talking about Bennett post rotation. And that Bennett is a real deck, a real good deck. What? Oh my god. Is he gonna come in with his? Is he gonna tear his Achilles when he comes out to be announced for VP? Yep, just waiting on the last match. That's all we gotta do. And once the last match is done, we'll continue moving. We will always continue moving. This is the other benefit of having this shorter thing, is that we just move. I'm just gonna keep moving. Expect this to be a fast tournament. Oh my god, yeah, I missed that. Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. Oh, hi, so good. So I can find the sound. Here we go. Here we go. I almost have this like on, like saved, so should always be easy to find. There you go. I'll turn off Spotify for a second too.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Oh my god, that's is Pow dead after rotation? I don't know. One of the biggest things, like I'm keeping an eye on rotation.
I'm gonna sing the Doom song now.
But I'm not fully invested in it yet. What's up, Programming? Welcome back to Doomco as the permanent co-host of the Tournaments of Doom. That means you have to be here right now, isn't it? Hi, Emmy. I see you. Oh, she muted me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Emmy, I'm not saying you're my third choice tonight, like it's a bad thing. But you were the third person I essentially reached out to.
That's so funny.
Everyone's like, no, I can't. It's Tuesday night. I'm like, oh my god, someone out there has to be able to do this.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I can sneak home a little early from work. I normally work until 9. So I was able to sneak out a tiny bit early, not as early as I would have liked, but it's all good.
I appreciate it.
How was round one?
We watched an interesting control deck get absolutely wrecked by Lugia. And then we went in to watch another control deck because there's a lot of control decks tonight for some reason. And it absolutely wrecked Chimpao. So I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, jeez.
Not too many again. So not too much, but very little few judge calls. And we're actually getting ready to move on to our next round.
Next.
This will move fast and we have people. So we do have a couple different people streaming. Is any of the Serena players able to stream? I know Napalm Facepalm, you were in chat. Do you think you can stream your game? We also do have Rubik. Oh, awesome, cool. Just anyone.
Serena EX.
Yeah. I want to get some fun decks in.
Nice.
They are up against Reggie's.
Reggie's.
Wow, yeah. Any room will join you. So. Awesome. Awesome. We got them all set up. Yeah. How's your Vancouver testing going?
It's weird. So me and my testing partner kind of decided, because it's obvious. I'm just going to play Mew, right? So last time to play Mew, I got to do it. So we kind of decided to focus more on post-rotation testing, but in doing that, I feel actually really bad about Vancouver. Especially in your challenge last week, I went a whole whopping 0-3 drop.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was not very good, but what about you?
I'm down to 2 decks. I was at 4. I am now at Gardevoir. And I am at Charizard still. And even then, technically it's 2 forms of Charizard, but that's why I'm going a little bit with the Gardevoir. Like, I'll never get to play this again. A little bit.
Yeah.
And a little bit of also like Charizard. I'm like, okay, this is great, but like I'm finding people know their Charizard matchups like the back of their hand.
Yeah. It's, it's tough, and I feel like especially the decks that are going to be good post-rotation, people are already wanting to like test against them and counter them, right? And one of those decks is Charizard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't my last chance to play Mew, I would probably roll up with Charizard to Vancouver, just because I've been doing so much testing of Charizard for post rotation.
If I didn't go back to Guardy and just try out some stuff, I probably wouldn't have even considered it. Especially because a lot of my testing partners are like, no, it's too slow for this kind of thing, blah blah blah. I'm like, but I play fast.
Right.
And I know I can do my timing. So the fastest thing I'm trying to do is just get my shuffling faster, just in general. So I've been sitting here, I'm using up the last of my dragon shields. My last of them, because I got a whole bunch of katanas. I like the way the katanas slide. So
they're okay. Like I will not be sad to sleeve up with them before a regional. It's katanas and Cortex are the same brand, right?
Right, but the Cortex is the cheaper ones.
Yeah, I hate the Cortex.
Yeah,
The katanas are fine, but the Cortexes are yucky.
Yeah, don't use the Cortex, use the katanas. So I'm using up the last of it. I didn't have that much Dragon Shields left. So I didn't have enough to run through a regional. Like I could use them right now for cups and stuff, but if I was doing a regional, that's not happening. So I'm just
makes sense.
Practicing my shuffling with them. I blinged out both decks, every variant of it. So I didn't get the Pidgeot illustration rares yet, but might hold on. I think
I have the full arts if you want to borrow those for Vancouver.
At least the way I've memorized right now the arts that I've been using, so I don't want to change it up too much.
Okay. Let me know if you don't get the illustration rares, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Oh, we're not judging. We just love watching stuff, and we talk like a podcast like half the time. I do ask that you mute the stream, so you don't get recommendations off us and stuff. And also, sometimes our recommendations are bad, and you shouldn't get them anyways.
That's actually really funny. You're not necessarily wrong, though.
Yeah, like my Gardevoir deck, I fully blinged it out. I also went and ordered reverse hollow like Ralts and Kirlias.
Ooh, yeah, because we don't have a good teleportation burst one, right?
Right.
Like a good art.
The Kirlia, you have the Silver Tempest version if you wanted to, but I couldn't find anyone selling it.
I don't really, it's okay. Like, it's interesting. Some of the promos, I actually don't like the artwork as much. And that's one of them.
I used to collect all the Guru arts.
Mm-hmm.
Because Oran Guru's just been, like, there's been so many good versions of it.
This is such a weird match. What is this? Reggie's? Oh, actually, is Manaphy in the deck? If not, we might have a difficult time.
Right, but Reggie's also not set up at all right now.
True. I've got to imagine, with the way that Reggie's are, I'm imagining that there is a research in hand, but we will just have to find out.
Mm-hmm. I would have liked seeing it in our Bond Suite down, but we'll see.
So that's why didn't we grab another Bounce Suite instead of the Iron? Is it Iron? Not Iron. What is the Mungus called?
Brute Bonnet.
Brute Bonnet. I was gonna say Iron Bundle, and I was like, that is not right. That is like the penguin.
Yeah, that's the mechanical penguin, the one with its head off.
I definitely am struggling with the ancient and the future Pokemon names. I wrote Virizion EX on a deck list not that long ago. Is Iron Leaves. Oops.
Well, they should
we didn't get punished for it.
And remember, Serena, this is actually great, the Irida, because Serena is a water type. So he's got everything here. Get that.
Yeah.
Get the Serena.
Rare candy.
And we're just going to see the Icicle Soul.
Interesting.
Now,
I think I would have liked to see, like, maybe discarding Artisan, because we don't want to give our opponent the ability to grab it, but maybe we don't want them to also be able to snipe another Bound Sweet.
That's true. And the other nice thing is the Serena. The Serena is, even though it's water type, it's metal weak.
But Reggie Steel exists.
Yes.
That's why I was thinking,
and he's
I can't do the un. You've got to do it for me.
Un. Yeah, if they play the metal energy, they're going to Telespark here, which that does damage up the Bidoof.
Well, the Bidoof,
the Bidoof
can't.
That's right, the Bidoof can't.
Yeah.
He's protected.
So he's Manaphy for himself. He's just a little guy. But, you know, having pre-damage done on a 2-prizer is kind of painful.
You just play a longer game, which it definitely looks like they're trying here to play the longer game.
Yeah, I mean, if we are able to get that Registeel down, then not be able to get one shot.
Actually, what is Registeel's attack? Isn't it based off? No, it has a straight one.
I thought it was based off of damage counters. I actually have the deck list up. Give me a second. Yeah, this. Oh no! It's Heavy Slam 220. This attack does 50 less damage for each cost in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. So, how much does Serena EX cost to retreat?
2. That I can tell you. I can see it on the screen.
So we're only doing 240 after weakness, which, since we have been damaged,
can happen, but
it's not one-shotting a blank one. I forget, is it Regirock that does less for each damage counter?
No, Regidrago. That one I remember.
Oh, Regidrago, okay. So that one, doesn't do anything in this matchup because you're getting, put down to such a low health.
I believe that's why they targeted the Regidrago on the bench, was to make it a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can possibly clean it up later too, because they do play the I forget what bird it is. I want to say it's the patriotic American eagle bird, but
Braviary.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I played against so in the Women's Cup Portland Regionals, I played against a weird control-esque archetype where they were using Serena EX to have Panic Masks so that you couldn't damage it, but then there was Crushing Hammers and other things. Honestly, Mike, I'm kind of thinking that because there's not really any meta-relevant steel metal type attackers, I mean, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. What do you think, Doom? I don't even know if we've kind of factored in. It's I don't know if we even factored in weakness necessarily. Oh, Goldango. That's a good point. Okay.
Okay, yeah, there is Goldango.
String Cheese Man is a metal type. You're correct.
Which I think that's going to be my next playmat release, is going to be the String Cheese Man. Is Goldango good? Is Goldango good post rotation?
I think, didn't it just do really well with Dunsparce as a draw engine?
I think so.
Yeah, I was I think it got to Dunsparce its first Limitless page. But yeah, Mike, I mean the opposite. Qianpao is weak to metal, but there's no other than Goldango, I can't think of any relevant steel type attackers, metal type attackers. Ugh. Pokemon language. I just worked way too many hours. I don't know Pokemon things right now.
Yeah, I go home with Mrs. Doom, and I keep talking in corporate speak.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh my god, because I spent like 3 hours in meetings today. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, we see the rufflet there, but ouch, there's not much else going on in this hand. 2 rare candy, 2 battle VIP pass. Those would have been great, but
in this arena.
I don't. Do we have a bounce suite in deck?
They did, and they benched the rufflet instead, or maybe they didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we didn't, I understand, but like if we did, definitely I think you would want to get the bounce suite.
Yeah, like the Gold Dingo playmat I'm imagining is taking the string cheese packaging. I've had this idea for a while, and doing a Gold Dingo mat like that. Because I have the coins, it pairs up.
Heck yeah.
Oh man, this is
I
hard.
will say, I'm really glad you did the Lugia mat, because I've had multiple people message me and be like, I love this Lugia mat.
I think I ended up ordering 57 of them.
That is so awesome. Heck yeah. It's also good post rotation, so that's probably on people's minds as well.
Well, that's why I was sitting there, like when I believe I was talking with you. It was the weekend before I launched it. The tournament of Doom. We were talking like, oh yeah, regional Doom coming up, which is in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I gotta still make sure everyone's schedules are fine. I'm so far behind with this one. It's just because like I don't have to do so much more for it, like all the graphics and stuff already. It's like, yeah, boop, 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 boop. I keep forgetting I gotta make sure everyone's schedules are set.
Makes sense, yeah.
Like, hey, you're still free on Easter Sunday, right?
Yeah, that definitely let me know like timing on stuff as well. I don't family stuff's weird since my mom is back home on the East Coast right now and has been for a while, but I still want to make sure like I call my mom on Easter, Yeah.
Which I'll put up like we did the last time for the casters, like what times are you available? You do this, so and so. And there went all the prize cards. Jeez.
Ouchies.
I was hoping for Serena to do well there.
It's okay.
It happens.
It happens.
Let's jump.
This is definitely like low stakes. Have fun.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Oh, I just saw Mana Moon's got a Giratina box coming out like the sketch. It looks pretty good. I mean, maybe I need to do Giratina now. Actually, you know what? That's Doom Regional 3 will be Giratina. All right, let's see. Let's go down to Rubik real quick and see if the game is still going. No, they just ended. Slavid is done as well. Lazy. As the end of the game going, we'll go with this. We'll get this. We'll finish this off. Like, why is the screen so small?
Is it small for you?
I didn't pop the window out.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh. When Zombie Jesus Day is March 31st. That is day 2 of the Doom Regional.
We did not plan it that way.
No. Pokemon decided to release everything on the 22nd. I'm always like the week after, and then after I schedule everything and announce it. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's Easter. I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, it's on Regional 2, Limitless 2. I'll link to all the tournaments here in a second. And you can always find it there. It's on a that's where I'm looking for here. It's a daytime stream one, and we stream as many matches as we can. We're looking at 7 rounds day 1, 4 rounds day 2 with a top 8 cut, but I might still change that depending on how many people we have.
Sounds good to me.
But if you ever need to find any Doom tournaments, this is the easiest way to do it. This link that is both in both YouTube and Twitch. 2-day limitlesses have been run before. The original limitless qualifiers were 2 days. The thing is, like, I just don't set the next round up. I think there was a little bit of misplay, but there was also a little bit of bad luck because like that hand for a while was just bad.
Yeah, I think the main thing that we were asking, you can go back and watch it too if you want, especially on the YouTube. The main thing we were asking is, did you have another Bounce Sweet in deck at a certain point? Or was there not? Because if there wasn't, then you grabbed the right thing. But Star Requiem means goodbye, Big Bird.
Are we going to be saying that a lot next format? Goodbye, goodbye, Big Bird.
No, we are going to be saying hello, little gremlin of a hamster. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, post rotation, like I do not want to play Lugia. Oh, ouch. This Mew EX is just going to swing right back. Youchies. But yeah, with post rotation, like Lugia can just attack with single prizers pretty much. Like, as long as it survives to use Summoning Star, it doesn't need anything else.
Just one moment here. I have crafts in front of me. I've been working on stupid craft stuff throughout the night and everything, as well as casting. I'm like really good at multi-chatting here. I want to bring this up. Don't be a dick. Don't antagonize people either with it.
Did I miss something, Doom?
Someone just did a judge request. I think you can see it.
Okay, do you need me to take it?
No, I got it. They're just saying they want us to be aware of their behavior above. It's salty. Nope. I don't see anything else to it. I'm just going to issue warning. Keep eye for future issues. Yeah, it's nothing worth banning over. Just like if the guy keeps being salty or something, then we do something. But otherwise, I'm not going to do it. They didn't go off for 10 pages. That person still that one's seared in my mind. But look at this. Fight ops. Split ups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Napalm, I'd also see there is some other Serena decks out there you can always look at and see how you feel about them. Because like Serena, when you really kill those evolution decks. And there's also Mike, you were talking about it. The Freezy Pop Boy. Oh. You know which one I'm talking about, the ice cream one. Vanillux. Where it can like prevent Pokemon who are like down to 40 damage. So instead of using Panic Max, you're using Vanillux to do the same thing. All right, but yeah, the Spite Ups, very, very simple. Is trying to lock things in. Yeah, you'd be wasting Rotom. Comes in with the Toad Scroll. The Toad Scroll's completely trying to shut down Chin Pao there.
That's so funny. Also, The ability name is just ridiculous.
I know. And they have that as an ability name. And they won't use Spicy Hot Yeehaw.
Yeah, whoever was writing the ability names and the attack names for this set was having a blast. Like, Paradox Rift has some really funky ones.
I mean, after a point, like, it was just writing slap every time. You kind of just get bored of that, right? Like, what can I make things sound even better? Thank you very much. What was the Japanese name of Amp You Very Much? I don't remember. Uh-oh. Judge issue.
I don't know, Spit Innocently is like funny, but who in their right mind writes Slime Mold Colony? Because like Spit Innocently, you can say that. But like I have to put in actual effort to say Slime Mold Colony. So it's like not only is it like ridiculous in terms of like why is that an ability name, but it's also like difficult to say. I don't know. It's pretty funny though. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing too, is I think that looking at all the playable cards, you can definitely notice there's a couple Pokemon that like definitely someone at TPC really, really likes.
Yes. Well, okay, like remember how I talked about there's so many good Oranguru cards?
Right.
Someone at TPC loved Oranguru.
100%.
It has to be.
All right, so Jen, what happened with your game then? He's saying we milled down to 2? Oh my god. We could have watched Control almost lose to Mill.
Oh jeez.
Okay. This is a question for chat, and this is also a question for Emmy in general. Pure Mill decks. Are they good for the game at any way, or should they be gone? Like I'm talking like you can talk about mill decks, you can talk about like Durant.
So as a beginner player, because I started playing kind of competitively when Durant Mill was like everywhere on ladder, it was so frustrating, right? I think that newer players playing against control archetypes and mill decks, it is a very frustrating experience. But at like the highly competitive level, I think that it's healthy for the game because it makes situations where you do have to logically think about, you know, tech cards and situations. Like if you're going to roll up to EUIC with a list and you absolutely lose to Blocklax, is that the best thing? I don't know. Right now there's like what, Wug Trio, and then like Chi-Yu being played in control lists with Snorlax. But then you've got the Ancient Tusk. What's his name? Great Tusk, right?
Great Tusk.
Great Tusk post rotation, which is doing pretty well. So
it's a question because like I've heard some people talk about it where they go and they're like, having some sort of mill is good for the game, but like having an overly powerful mill is not. And that's where the question comes, like, is an overly powerful mill good for the game or not? And like, you can talk about like new players hate it though.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, being encouraging of newer players, if you are playing a deck like that, maybe at your weekly league or kiddos, you know, I guess you have the balance, like kiddos do need to lose. Like that's the other thing is, you know, recently talking to some pokey parents and also my little brother, they definitely need to learn how to lose. But, I do think that decking out is a tougher way for a kiddo to lose.
It feels like it's out of their control in every way.
Right. But, maybe beat them up and then teach them a better strategy, find the balance.
It's like, I know some local juniors who like never lose a cop ever. At least from what I've seen, it's like, man, you kind of need to lose sometimes, but then again, then they go to regionals and then they win it too. Like we have a strong junior class,
Right.
so always love getting my favorite junior story or senior as well. It was actually a senior player. It was at a cup, one of my first cups back. We had an odd numbering. They had odd numbering, so we paired into seniors. I got paired into them. I just needed ID into cut. Easy peasy, right? And if they ID'd, they would get first. They were like all set, right? No reason for us to play. They went and talked to like their dad. Their dad said, no, play it out. We played it out and I beat them in 3 turns. Absolutely ran them over with Gardevoir. I got set up and I just knocked out their Pokemon. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you could have took the ID. Now your number 1's that threat. So felt a little mean, but they didn't take the ID.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, but it's your choice. Like I say every week, it is a choice. But it's a choice you have to make and you have to live with. All right.
Yeah, I also think. Oh, sorry. You go.
Next round is up.
Sounds good. I also think that that's something else that, at your local league, maybe teaching some Poke parents the resources to know if their kiddo can safely ID. Like I had a local junior not know that he could ID a regional and ended up, his opponent asked, he said no, and then he ended up losing and didn't make top 8 because of it. So, just like all the resources that we learn over time as competitive players in the Masters division, just sharing them with Poke parents, I think is really important.
That's actually one of the best things to do is like with online tournaments is like learn where these people are. Don't watch the VT. He was playing an interesting version of Roaring Moon as it was. You start to learn when you can and can't ID. So like tonight, there's no reason to ID. It's a challenge. You never ID in a challenge unless you're my brother. He wants to joke about it. Yeah, even chat's saying the same thing. Way too many. But like I spend so much time every week when we're getting ready for like semifinals and going to cut who's in, who's not, and this is one of the things like it depends on your organizer.
Napalm, ID stands for intentional draw. It is something that exists in best of 3 or, non-TPC events. So TPCI events, normally like best of 3 for majors, cups and challenges, or I would say usually best of 1. Is that typical?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically it means if you and your opponent both draw or have the ability to draw, you'll make like the top cut. But yeah, like a tie in TPC events is like a double game loss. So very much discouraged in other regions.
Which I've had an interesting theory about. Again, with the online. We used to have a lot of Japanese players not take IDs. But now when we do, I've seen more and more of them do it, have adapted to that style and realized it now. is a nice, interesting change. It's one of those things about online play in general. I want to make a video just talking about online play in general and everything about it, and different things that different problems we run into. Which I mean, like, we can all easily talk about the problem of, hey, the game's not working.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Unfortunately.
So, okay, here's the surprising thing. And I'm going to curse myself this. The game is back to being extremely stable to the point we're not getting judge calls about people disconnecting.
It
has happened. I mean, we had a finals match where that happened, but it's been much better.
That's good. I'm glad.
Like, do you remember when we switched to PTCGL and I was like, I essentially make a copy pasta for disconnects?
Literally.
Yeah. Like, okay, the person who disconnected, they lose the coin flip. You could go first or second. And if your hand's horrible, because you could have started with a good hand, now you have a bad hand, you get to go. You get one free mulligan because essentially they got a restart. Not
right.
Control. But that's just the fairest way I could put it.
Yeah, it was. What a weird time, honestly.
I mean, we still have that ruling and we still know it. It will probably come up again. It's just not something that's come up recently that often.
Yeah.
Which, okay, Mike's talking about best of one format worked well until two prizes came in. It's like when I played some 2010 retro with last week's this is a bunch of decks. The last week's host Alex Coach. I'm still messing up his last name. Came up with. Me and Prince Vortex and our chatter, who I was hoping to get on today, but he was unable to. Happens. We took 50 minutes to play one game.
That makes sense. The format was just so different. Like everything was so different.
It was just like I'm trying to set my deck up, and he's like, I'm trying to set my deck up, and it was like, we can't. Where's the research? How do I draw cards?
Yeah, I think that's something about like that I've learned through cubing with old cards as well, is just how slow like past formats must have been.
Well, I was playing OG recently with some really old cards. We're playing stuff like Haymaker and some other decks. I don't remember which other ones. I always remember Haymaker. And it was like there was just like nothing I could speed the deck up with. And like I'm like, oh wow, okay, here we go. I'm going to hit for 20 because that's all I could do.
Right.
Doot.
Brodozer, thank you for the follow. Hey, we take every win we can, even if it's a bye. Napalm.
Doot.
Napalm, also thanks for the follow. The other discussion I was having today with some people is the current format going to be a good retro format? Will we look back on this and go, hey, this was pretty good, I want to go back and play it? Game, we're still waiting for the game to come up, Cash. They're still setting up.
So I would say probably not, except for I think that nostalgia is very much a factor, and there is something to be said about the growth of the game during this time period. So it's very likely that a lot of these decks that are about to, rotate were people's first decks. So I would not be surprised if people still want to play with them. Like me with Mew VMAX. But like, would that be fun to go back in time and play? Like as a newer player?
Like I'm not too big on going back retro all the time. Which here we go, match is going. But I still find it interesting how many people do. And like some lot is like the last format I can think of where people were like, yes, I really, really, really love this format. I'm going back and playing it. So I'm like, okay, what's the next format that's going to have that? And this one, even though it feels like Mew was in it forever, which it was, and other things, it's just there's so many decks you can play, and it's like you can play it and you're not just playing the same 2 decks. It's not like when it was just Zoroark and Buzzwole and deck format. And that's like people talk about 2010. There's like, even though there was like a couple really strong decks, there were still so many you could play.
Yeah, I guess there's like quite a few decks going on right now. And I just saw what Mike said. You're so right. I'm just saying like that as an example. I am definitely ready for Mew to rotate. But I guess that is something to be said is like if you are creating like not like a cube, but like what would you call that? Like a format set? So like one of each of the top 6 decks or whatever, so that you could all play.
Or more. Like you could make every single deck you possibly could think of. Like if you did every top performer. So you'd have to have like Arceus decks. You would have to have what else? Various lost zone decks. You're gonna have to have various Gudra decks even.
Yeah, that's true.
If you tell me Silver Tempest goes down as one of the worst formats of all time, I would agree with you though.
Oh, 100%. Any format where it's dominated that much by one single archetype that is very, very difficult to counter is just not fun to play, really. It's like I spent that whole format trying to play lightning type attackers to beat up on Lugia and just fail.
I will say the last Vancouver Regionals, which was that format, is not one of my favorite regionals.
Yeah, I agree. I remember also the control archetypes had IceQ Wash Energy. So like that was also just really not fun to play against. Because it would be like, all right, you have Wash Energy on your IceQ, I literally can't do anything. It's like not anything I can do against this deck now.
I'm done. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm hoping this Vancouver Regionals will be a lot more fun because, like, even though I bombed out of the Portland Regionals, I still felt like it was a better, funner format.
Yeah, I definitely like, you know, for Portland specifically, I let go of the reins and I said whatever I hit in matchup roulette, I hit in matchup roulette. And the cards were not in my favor, so we'll see about Vancouver, but here's hoping.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaning towards Gardevoirs, because I can beat everything with a Gardevoir. I know how to beat it. I'm not out of games. Whereas in Charizard, even in testing, I feel like I'm out of games. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm not winning this. It's nothing I can do. I also just want to beat Giratina.
It's so tough because DTE Mew has such a good Giratina match unless they play Spiritomb, and then you do not have a good Giratina match.
Gardevoir is like 50-50.
I think both Gardevoir and Giratina are like super close to 50-50 into so many matchups.
This will be interesting here. Does he have enough? Does he have enough water energy in the discard now?
He has one in there for sure. Does he have a second? Now he has a second.
Because I was wondering if you want to try to attack with the Greninja here.
Yeah, there's 3 in there now. Yeah, I think so.
Bring up the Greninja, use the Palkia. Take out the Comfies. Like, it is amazing to me how many people don't realize that taking out the Comfies against Giratina can be absolutely crushing against them.
Right.
Like, I like playing Avery in my Gardevoir. I had a local argue with me for like 15 minutes saying it was a dumb card to have in there. I'm like, it beat you. But one of the things I brought up is like, it's good for the mirror. I'm like, it's good against Tina. I'm like, how is it good against Tina? I'm like, they have to decide what what Pokemon do they want to get rid of. Do they want to get rid of their Comfies? Do they have to get rid of their Tinas or whatever, draw engine part or attacker?
Yeah, the only decks that Avery isn't good against right now is these decks that use like a ton of setup. Like, so Roaring Moon with a Squawkabilly and a Lumineon. You're just like letting them get rid of them for free, right?
Right.
Because sometimes there are situations where you do have to play Avery. You need to draw 3 cards.
And those are when you have to do it with that.
But it's super good against Lost Box decks. Wow, that was English, I swear. Super good against Gardevoir. Super good against Mew. Which, I don't know. There's a few people asking me if they should join me, play Mew one last time for Vancouver. Maybe.
I can beat it with Gardevoir.
You should. Because I don't think that, I don't know, it's such a tough matchup for Mew. It's possible, just with the, luck of Judge and Path, but it's difficult.
You judge Path me, and I already have 3 Corellias out. It's like, cool, I'm just going to draw more cards. That's what makes Gardevoir good. And the same thing with Mew, even. It's just, I can keep drawing.
Right.
Like, how many times have you sat there and be like, there's no way Mew has boss for game, and then they draw half their deck?
Yeah, Z-Man, I think a lot of Gardevoir are playing to Avery right now, which is why it's so difficult. Like, wasn't all of the Guardy that did well at the last European event, like the 3 top lists all played 2 Guardy? Yes. Or 2 Avery. Obviously, they played 2 Gardevoir EX. Oh my god.
Yeah, they played 2 Avery. I've been testing the 2 and the 1 version, and I like the 2 over the 1, but the 2 version gets stuck with that's what I'm looking for here. The time when you don't want to Avery, you need to Avery more often.
Right, because you just absolutely need to draw cards. Cash, I think playing 2 Guardy is good. Yeah, you better be playing 2 Gardevoir. I guess maybe play 3, but never play 1. Jeez Louise.
I remember there was someone on the online circuit who was playing 1 for a while, and they were doing hot, and they're like, yeah, this is the great way to do it. This is the way to do it. And then they started losing a whole bunch. Like, I prized everything. I was like, yeah, no shit.
Instructions unclear, playing 4 Refinement Gardevoir. Dear Lord. Oh my gosh, stay camp.
I still have my Refinement Gardevoirs.
I think isn't there like a really pretty like art rare? Is it a trainer gallery?
The trainer gallery one's the Shiny Arcana.
No, there's a Shiny Arcana, but isn't there also a Refinement one, and it's like super dramatic looking?
I don't know. Because both the illustration rares for Gardevoir EX are like really cool and dramatic looking. Well, one's dramatic looking, one's like really good.
There's one of each. Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like ethereal looking, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna find it and send it to you.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I remember it.
Okay, did you find it?
No,
Yeah, it's the one from Silver Tempest.
PCS podcast is the one with Diantha on it. And I go, oh yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
No, I'm eating Reese's. We bought a bunch of Reese's Easter candy.
Oh my gosh, Reese's holiday candies are the best.
I'll shove it through the mic.
I think that they're not wanting to damage themselves because of Sableye would be my best guess.
Sableye comes into play, and also it forces them to use their V-Star attack. Oh no, they don't need to use their V-Star attack.
Yeah, because like they can knock us out back now, but if we had bossed their V-Star, then we would have to have used.
I was saying use the boss as a cross switcher. Maybe?
Oh, I understand. Okay. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure.
It's Tuesday night. We're having fun. Actually, I only have 3 matches left, and this is one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is not supposed to be a slow matchup. No shot, day camp. That's ridiculous. Did you see what day camp said?
What does he say?
He says that Reese's is in court right now because
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones have a face on the package but not on the actual candy. That is so silly.
Yeah.
That's like the silliest thing you've ever said to me, day camp, and like it's not even you. It's a fact.
Yeah, they get the setup. But yeah, like I talked about this recently and stuff. Like I want to have fun, dumb streams. Ooh, this Roxanne's gonna hurt. And Tuesday nights seem to work really well for that. So
Okay, so off topic, but
wait, isn't that everything in this?
oh yeah. Oh, taco sounds so good.
That's what we had for dinner.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Honestly, taco sounds so good. So I opened a TCG player account to like sell stuff because I have so many cards that like I don't need these, right?
Right. Which reminds me, I
this
need to
is
run
so
out.
painful.
Oh, I know. There's attached past.
One cross receiver. But I just got another order. Like it's actually kind of fun to be like, oh, I got another order. I gotta package it up.
Well, it's like that with Doomed Gaming stuff. Like it says, you have a new order. I'm like, yay. And then with like the Lugia mat, it kept popping up like every 2 minutes. I'm like, ah.
Sure, Z-Man. I just have a bunch of randoms on there, like random cards. As long as Doom's fine with me posting it in there.
You got mod privileges. I don't care.
No, I know. I'm just like, I want to ask you permission before I post my own thing.
If I didn't want you to, I would take away your mod.
Oh, good point.
I allow self-promotion of everyone who comes on anyway, so there you go.
I actually have to find the link now.
Which, if you're looking to sponsor the Zoom Regional, we are open for that. We actually have 2 new sponsors. As we watched Kira Tina come back. Ouch.
That was youch.
Yeah.
Roxanne Path is game changing.
Very much. To our two new sponsors. Let me double check one name. One of them is the Drew Too Many podcast. They're paying for advertising space straight up. That's why we have an increase in play mats. Or now we have to do top 4, not just champion now. And then our other one is Matoba Design, who we're working out what they're going to do, but they're giving some of the rarer Pokemon. They do a lot of more rarer Pokemon items, especially from like World and NIC stuff like that. They have a huge thing. I'm still looking through everything, trying to figure out what we want to do. But they're also going to add into the prize pool as well.
That's so awesome.
So we do have a Mew on top. We do have Jam. We're going to watch Jam next round. He's killing it. He's killing it with a different deck. We have to see what this is.
Okay.
Albeit it is a control deck, but I'm at the point where, like, if you saw, I just bought the block laxes and everything because I'm just at that point.
I mean, I'm seriously, I shouldn't be talking about EUIC already. I really need to focus on Vancouver, but Blocklax is so good post-rotation, and especially if people aren't going to respect it going into EUIC, I think it's such a good play for EUIC.
If it does feel like we're moving into like a control-based meta.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
But here's the thing that scares me about that. The last time I remember them printing so many control-based cards, they released a card called ADP. and everything else went into chaos differently.
Yeah.
They're like, that should fix it.
It's fine, right, guys?
Right? So, yeah. Let's just be scared. Tag teams are coming back. The first one's a reprint of ADP. Hey, ADP got me my Limitless page, so I will always have room in my heart for that. All right, next round coming up. We're not, like I said, we're not screwing around. If you are late or your opponent is late, doesn't show up, please give them the benefit of the doubt. Just because we're running so fast, we will reset rounds if we need to. Not rounds, reset your game if we need to, just so you guys can play and give any extra time if needed. Just because things are going so fast.
Yeah, I think that's like understandable. Makes sense.
Like, you should be ready and all that, but like, I mean, we're ending rounds with like 5 minutes left.
What, Baba? My cat is so meowy tonight.
Our cat the last couple nights has come in here and planted her ass right in front of my keyboard.
Oh, really? What? Oh my goodness.
I did accidentally lock her in my office as well.
Oh, geez, really?
So she spent the night in here. I'm glad she didn't actually pee on anything.
That's good. How do you think they're going to do the, like, stellar type in the TCG? Doom and chat.
I hope. First off, I hope it doesn't have block. I mean, bench stuff. I'm thinking it might end up being like breaks, where you have to evolve it on top of an EX Pokemon, or
Hmm.
Or alternatively, as the game is going, I will switch it over. Just popped up. Okay, hasn't even coin flipped yet. Or it's going to be something more like I hate this would be overpowered and it sounds dumb as I say it. It's everything for weakness.
Yeah. Mike, I agree with a lot of the things that you're saying, but does Blacklax actually lose really bad to Lugia?
Lugia does have a favorable matchup against like Blacklax.
Huh. That's interesting.
Lugia, the reason why it does is because almost everything in it can be an attacker.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And that's so crucial. And the jet energy and other things. So,
well, Blacklax is playing at least 2 Temple. So, I don't know. That's interesting. Oh no, they literally started Ninja. What are they playing?
how are they playing? Roaring Moon. So they have an out.
Okay, yeah, they've got outs. He won't be that stuck. I guess, I don't know. Like, what's stopping Blacklax from going Temple and then trap a Lugia in the active?
Fact
It is true
Lugia,
that
Lugia needs only 4 energy to attack.
right, but you're trapping the Luminion. He can't retreat.
That's the one you're going after, yeah. But if they play like water energy in their deck, like a straight one, then the temple doesn't matter as much. But then again, how many are actually doing that? Because like I might go look at the list, and like zero Lugia decks probably running an actual water energy just for that scenario.
All right, I'm gonna go look at the Lugia list that just did good. Y'all have me on a mission because I agree with pretty much every other matchup. I think Giratina is going to be very good post rotation as well, and that is true. It has a very good matchup into Blacklax and control just in general.
That matchup is one of the reasons why I'm off Blacklax for Vancouver. It's just so bad, Blacklax into Tina, that I don't have enough practice or trying to do anything with it that you actually make it good. And like Cal Connors talked about, like you can make it good, you can make it work, but I just not at that point. And also for whatever reason, yeah, bird control is better. Bird control is like a semi-attack deck though. There's probably going to be like a bajillion roaring moons anyways.
Yeah, it does look like maybe it is standard to just run the one Luminion. The other thing that I'm seeing, which would definitely make it a favorable matchup, is running a one-off Thornton. So Luminion gets stuck, Thornton it into a Chinchino or whatever. Evolve. Ruh-roh. Or a Minchino into Chinchino, whichever one it is.
Cappuccino, Americano, you know.
All of those words.
I'm going to go to Starbucks in Vancouver and ask for a Chinchino and see what I get.
We gotta do it. On the way. We need coffee.
The thing is, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know what I get.
Oh no. Okay, we'll order you a real thing and then also a Chinchino.
Is that like a puppuccino?
Oh yes.
I love puppuccinos. I know I'm going to stop by Tim Hortons at some point.
I think last year, I got coffee there once, but they messed up my order. So I need to go back and like actually have it because my stepdad loves Tim Hortons.
Yeah, the story I've told a bajillion times about that Vancouver trip too was afterwards when I went to Tim Hortons, the weed store, and a convenience mart all in one stop.
Honestly, that's a vibe.
And then I vegged out on my bed eating Ruffles and Tim Hortons the rest of the night.
Yeah. Ruby, I don't know about item lock necessarily, but Aerie seems to be being played in quite a few decks right now. Just the ability to discard rare candies from Champagne Charizard decks.
I have seen some people say Banette is actually pretty good. But again, like I haven't focused too much on post rotation myself because I'm trying to focus up on I won't need to worry about it until later. Which we are running the Tournament of Doom on March 21st, which will be a post rotation tournament the first night we possibly can, because I will not be able to run it the next night. And post rotation tournaments are too good. Now, is he out of switch cards? Oh, he's going to come up and try to get the KO. Oh. It's too sweet. I was control on auto win against Cheese Stick Man.
They don't really play switching cards, do they?
No, I don't think they do. That's been one of the biggest ways that control has been winning lately and continues to win is through lack of switches. So like right now, this control deck is also an attacking deck, but he's got to get like the squawk ability up there and get it stuck. And then the squawk ability can still attack. So you're more trying to get the Greninja up there and get it stuck. Which he's in a fairly bad spot, I would say. He needs energy. He needs a boss. He could, no, Frenzy Gouging does work against Mimikyu. What am I thinking? I'm like, Mimikyu's fine. No, that will be game here. Hey, let's see. Okay, like this is actually good to see, anyways, because if it demystifies control a little bit for players, I've done my job. Let's see what some of the other games. Let's see how Catherine's doing. They've been streaming the whole time, and we haven't had them on yet. Mew versus Rory Moon, but Rory Moon needs one prize. Let's see.
Ooh, Mews against 3 Mews. There's 5 Mews. I'm having the time of my life.
And he's like, this is the greatest game ever. Don't ever wake me from this dream.
Grabber? Grabber and Roaring Moon? What is happening? Wait, there's another Mew! There's 6 Mews!
Oh wait, is this the Roaring Moon that runs like 2 Roaring Moons but runs 4 Mew EXs?
I think so, because it has 3 Mew EX in play. I didn't even realize it at first because the one Mew EX is different than the other 2, but I just realized they're probably playing all 4 arts.
I mean, if you're going to play 4 of, you might as well play all 4 arts.
100%. Turbo Mew versus Mew VMAX. I will say that Alt-Art Mew EX is a gorgeous card. I bought one. I shouldn't have, but I did. It is such a gorgeous card.
All right. So did you see the Pokemon Day Dance that came out?
Yeah, it's so cute.
One of the animators is the guy who did the Mew EX alt art.
Yeah. I forget his name, but I love his art because he also do some sleeves and some deck boxes.
Yes, it's like UGS Man.
Yeah.
And like the Mew EX is like his first card.
Yeah, it's so cute. See, I love it in particular because it does have an Oddish on it.
I mean, I'm like that with anything with White Cocoa on it.
Mm-hmm. Tails. All right. Slap DTE. Last vacuum away Iono. Let's go. Let's go. It was like escape rope or boss. Just, I guess escape rope doesn't quite win them the game there, though. Oh, there's the boss. Is fine.
Yeah, it's there. It is.
Yeah, I think the quad Mew EX is definitely gimmicky. I think that for a second there, it was really good as a meta call, but I forget because of why. Because didn't we see it do really, really well in a Tournament of Doom like a month or 2 ago?
I think so. There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, Napalm, we keep up with the Japanese announcements and leaks. Thursday nights is usually the best time when they have the leaks. So if you follow Tuan Lei, he's usually the one that gets the best as the translations, but a couple other people will too.
Ruby, I don't know if there's other quad Mew EX opportunities necessarily. I guess we'll have to see kind of how post rotation goes, but I will say I think that Squovit double barrel decks are definitely good post rotation. It's just like a slightly nerfed fusion strike system.
Let's see if this Blazy's game is still going. Yeah, this one still actually got a good deal amount of time, so let's go ahead and get this one going. Also, if you're able to stream, no matter your record, we will always glad to have you on. Well, see, like Mew EX is like dependent on your opponent, right? Almost like it's like when Sackett ran Mime Jr. in Gardevoir. Like, okay, you know what? Mime Jr. is good in the sense that it's a free retreater. Well, okay, think about it this way. Oh my god, that's actually a good one. If you're playing against Rory Moon, you Avery them, and they Avery off their squawk ability, and all they have left is like 2 prizers out there, and they have to choose one of those attacks.
That's ridiculous,
You
dude. I can't even.
You're like, oh no. You're like, oh yeah. Yes, I do remember that one. Second is like he's like the main character energy personified. Like if there's a god out there of like drawing cards, it like looks down on second and says, yeah, you're gonna get the best draws. I miss Chansey decks in general. Or Blissey. Just Blissey and Chansey were so much fun. Is Blissey V still around? I think so. I didn't graduate high school, did it?
Second? Wasn't it in the. It wasn't like Blissey Charizard a thing for a second?
Yeah. I think what's hindering it is there's just not as much special energy right now. I think what it is.
Which is true, there's not.
That's been like kind of the hindrance for Lugia right now.
Yeah, Mist Energy coming out is good. Moxie, do you have some ties? Is that why you say that?
They signed up late, if I remember right.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Moxie, aren't you playing the Tord box? Okay, yeah, you showed up 2 rounds late. Can you stream right now, Moxie? I'd like to see that played. Well, we got 2 rounds left. Dude, I love the way the new ace specs look. Have I got my hands on any of them yet? No, but I will.
I pulled one, which is the double energy one, which I pulled from a pre-release kit. But they are definitely nuts with pre-release pricing, so I'm a little nervous.
Well, they're always nuts with pre-release pricing.
Yeah, but like everyone and their mother needs a prime catcher before UIC, so I'm definitely nervous.
Lucky for me, I do not.
You do not. I potentially do.
So
It's either that or maximum belt, most likely.
it feels so weird having rotation like much earlier because we used to be so late with rotations, like August and stuff. I remember the worlds where they had a rotation right before World. That was interesting. I was like, what decks will actually be good?
Guess you'll find out.
This deck has so many one-offs. See, like, I think that's fine. Rotation right before Worlds. That's we're just waiting on one match. Let's find out what that one match is. Katana TCG versus Lighty. Try out. Here's our standings. Let me go ahead and update them as we are moving into round 5 here. We might actually not have a 6-0. Which is fine by me. So. I like the 2018 or 2019 Worlds, they did rotation right before. But then again, they've done, I don't think that was the first time they did it. So at the rate we're going, this tournament should be done about 11:10. It was a little bit later than last week, but we have one more round than we did last week. So I decided that I thought enough people wanted to play. I upped it. Just gotta wait for that one match. But if we even look at what's topping tonight, Mew, Rory Moon, Lost Zone Box, Fusion Mew. This was Rory Moon with the 4 Mews, Charizard, Blocklox Pidgeot, Goldingo, the one of Goldingo. It's 3-1. And there's Moxie. There we go. All right, and then we're just waiting for this last game to finish up, and then we'll move on to the next round.
Sounds good.
What has been some of the decks, just in general? I always like looking at the overall. Look at this. Charizard on online tournament meta has a 48.03% win rate. And it's just like Giratina wins more than half its matches. Moon's at about half. Gardevoir's almost at half. And Pal's a lot worse. Other in general is really bad.
Oh, jeez.
Because like you do by win percentage, and like the problem is, like Snorlax Pidgeot has a 53% win rate, but I mean this only been played 225 times.
Right.
What is the least played deck? Oh, I can't share a percentage. Here we go. Arceus Gudra is the least played deck.
Sense.
Spite Ops is right after that, and I think probably about 40 of those Spite Ops have been in my tournaments the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Spite Ops representation.
That is also true, Daycamp. How this takes in for account people who don't drop or don't show up. Like if you look at Charizard, it's like, okay, cool, here it is, and then it's like, okay, how many times does it just not show up? So it puts in a list and then just doesn't show up. So top 50. You still can see like best finishes. Last time I had the last best finish it had check out Mondays in March, and most of February it didn't have like a win. About Giratina. Giratina's last best finish was 10? That doesn't make sense. Huh. Well, round match is done. Next round up.
Let's go.
Let's go. Keep it moving. Look at it. It's like, here's the best finishes. Jam. The thing, But the thing is, like, that's weird because, like, he won more than that, so I'm not sure. Huh. Weird. But once Nelson's game gets going here, I'm just going to transfer it over here now so I don't forget. I'll look at Rapid Strike best finishes real quick. Let's see what it is. If I can find it. There it is. The last best finish for Rapid Strike was back in December.
Wow.
According to this.
That's bonkers. It's been that long.
I don't even know what's like the criteria for the best finish. Like, does it need to be so much players? Because this says like first to 68. So like I have no idea what the criteria is. Daycamp, you won February 2nd.
There's no way it was that long ago.
And it
Was it really?
Yeah, it classified as Inteleon Urshifu, and we had 125 players. Because like it's weird like that because like I'm sitting here like, okay, best finish. It's like, okay, what about this one? But I'm like, I swear to God, this one had like an earlier one on there. And it's just weird which ones show up, like the Baby Town Bash. So the new deck builder on the list does look good.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter earlier.
Which I will hype up their Patreon because I pay into it. They run this like all this for free, so I'm not paying to make tournaments. Well, I'm paying like basically half the time and other things, but I'm not having to pay to use the platform, which to me is amazing, and I will support them however I can. All right, let's see how this deck works because like having open lists makes it seem not as good, but there's still a lot of cards in this deck that can do a lot of things.
I've got no clue, honestly. Yeah, I was like, I've seen this deck, but I might stumble a little bit depending.
Well, it's like, okay, having open deck lists, they know like they need to bench their mana fee.
Right. Yeah, now that people know what's in it.
It becomes a little bit harder to you lose that things. Yeah. Listen to the Lake of Rage podcast. See, there it is. The mana fee's down. It's like no shot that they don't put that mana fee down, especially because they know.
Right.
And that is one of the sucky things about like open deck lists. But otherwise, we don't have a way of doing deck checks online like we do IRL. So you end up having to find other ways around it. And this has like literally been the accepted way since like day one once we started having online events.
Yeah, I will say, watching it on stream, it did kind of seem he had really good starts every time, even though the deck is a ton of one-offs.
I would also say this then it becomes even more important. He talked a lot about having the reps with the deck. That it was a challenge. It was something different, but he also put in the time, the effort, everything. The plays you wouldn't think of doing. Squirrel it, then squawk.
Oh, I saw that. It's honestly so good.
Like I would have never thought of that, but then again, I don't play decks currently right now with squawkability in it. Currently, it doesn't mean not next format.
I forgot. Sobel has called for family, right? Keep calling.
Yes, it does. But I think it's Rapid Strike Pokemon, I thought.
Yeah, but you could go grab like Urshifu or Metacham or whatever else you needed. I just kind of forgot about it, honestly.
It's a card we haven't seen play, and this is good until Elon's rotate it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's one of those cards I had and never got to play.
The Inteleons.
Yep. Also, when Marnie was printed, she was a like $8 card at one point.
Oh, I forgot about that. God. That was miserable. I mean, that's kind of how, like, weren't Ionos like $3 or $4 when they first came out because it was so hard to pull them?
Right. And but like Pokemon's got so good about like, just overprinting things now.
Yeah. Damn, don't remind us. Honestly, I'll be happy to pay $30 before EUIC. I'm scared it's going to be more than that.
Yeah, the Marnies were a lot. And I was about ready to pay for that. And then recently I was going through my bulk looking for stuff. And I swear to God, I have like 70 Marnies now.
Well, you had to buy so many.
Well, I'd buy, and then I just kept pulling them in all the products.
Right. Needed your playset, and then that box you bought said, yeah, you need another playset.
And then they printed it in other things, and
like the collection.
And then by the end of the time, you just had so much. Oh, talking about like the A specs, this also comes back to like Radiance. There's been a rash of people I read about playing multiple Radiant Pokemon in their deck.
How?
They just are. And then
What?
Yeah, they will not even submit a list. They'll submit a list, and then they'll put both like Radiant Charizard and Greninja in it and hope you don't notice.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna play Grabber and see both of that in their hand. I'd be like, Judge.
It's like the people who now there's another way some people have been cheating, and the reason this one is one that came up at a local recently. They'll Iono and give themselves 7 or 8 instead of just 6.
That's ridiculous.
We had someone do that, and they got caught and they got disqualified. It wasn't like an accidental one-time thing. They did it multiple times in the tournament, and the judge watched it over like 3 times. On the 3rd time, he was like, they're literally like 1, maybe 2 times I could see, but like 3 times, no.
Yeah, pretty much. That Squawk might be stuck.
That poor board. That's why, like, when I draw personally, I not fan out my cards. I count them out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, and they're all it's stacked on top of each other in a way that if I do 7, I don't flip the card. I could call a judge and be like, "Here you go." The only way this can be set up this way is if I dealt it this way, and the judge can put the card back on top. All right, let's see. We are still moving. Oh wow, I forgot to drop somebody. Someone's missed all 5 rounds.
You know what? That's a mood.
That's a move. Someone. Oh, wait, did that person actually show up this round? Did I just accidentally drop someone who did show up?
No, you did not.
After 5 rounds, they showed up. I need to go find a double check. I might have accidentally did that. Oh no, they got the buy. Never mind. No, they're gonna drop because it doesn't count as a no call, no show, or no show. They get the buy. Someone 4-0 drop.
This is Zard on Zard violence.
So much pain.
Do we have a top cut?
No,
Okay.
One more round and we're done.
I was gonna say, if there's a top cut, I might need to skip to go to bed for work tomorrow, but
No, I have to
I
go
will
to.
definitely stick around.
I have to go to work tomorrow. That's the reason why I only run a challenge style.
Makes sense. That's what I thought, but I wanted to double check.
Like
Quick,
I
Doom. Let's just do really quick. Really quick. We'll do a top cut. It's fine. Top 4.
some people would do that too. They would be all
Yeah.
for it.
That's like there was some drama that happened at a local cup that they very suddenly dropped one round because the TO and the card shop didn't communicate about what time they needed to be like out of there. And so they just like dropped around, and then like I don't even know if they were able to play the finals like inside the card shop. They might have had to relocate.
I mean, like those mythical ones where they like finish in the parking lot or the McDonald's on the street or
pretty much. But like people had like they didn't ID because they didn't know that it was only going to be. I forget if it was like 4 rounds when it was supposed to be 5 or 5 rounds when it was supposed to be 6. So.
Well, that's a way to do it. We finished our League Cup on top of a car outside.
I love seeing those photos. Like, they're so good. So chaotic.
The thing is, we actually have a League Cup. I don't know. I don't think it's being run anymore. Because I don't think the place exists anymore, but it was ran out of Round Table Pizza.
There's one out down here that was the same thing, and yeah, it doesn't exist anymore because of Pokemon's new like league rules. And it was one of the more popular ones too, like in the area.
We had one that was right by an Alfie's Pizza, where everyone Top Cut would run over and order a pizza. Like the ID, get the pizza, and then eat it before Top Cut.
Yeah.
One of the times I did make Top Cut there, and I did that, I was like, actually wanted a pizza. They forgot my order.
No!
And so I went to Top Cut hungry. I was like, no.
That's literally so sad.
Ever since then, I make sure I grab food. Whenever I grab for lunch, I try to grab like something big enough or something that will hold. And that way, if I make cut, I can just run out to my car. Nom, and move on. Which surprisingly, Subway fills that role a lot of times.
I actually love Subway. Have I told you my current beef with Subway though?
No.
They stopped doing all day breakfast, which was like my favorite thing
Why?
to get.
Why? Like all day breakfast is the best everywhere.
Yeah, and they stopped doing it, and it's so sad. I was like, I used to get like an egg sandwich from there, and it was like the best.
It's like the only reason I ever go to Jack in the Box is because they do all day breakfast.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I forget who I was talking to not that long ago, and they were telling me that like Jack in the Box sounds like someone was just like really high when they made the menu. I was like, yeah, pretty much.
They're like tacos, burgers,
and egg rolls, and
well, they do have that late night menu. That's essentially just the stoner menu.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're like, put a grilled cheese on top of that.
They pinged and killed the Manaphy. I don't know about otherwise.
Yeah, we're too busy talking about Jack in the Box.
Honestly, Jack in the Box kind of sounds fire right now.
I've been getting Taco Bell breakfast on my way into work on Wednesdays, which is tomorrow. So
Yay!
Mrs. Doom's like,
oh my god, today's only Tuesday. Jeez Louise.
Mrs. Doom's like, I know you've been getting Taco Bell. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not getting regular Taco Bell. I'm getting breakfast there. There's a difference, I swear.
That's so funny. Actually, I really like Taco Bell breakfast as well. The Taco Bell that's right by my house, though, I think they have problems like keeping staff. And so a couple times I've gone, they've been like not open for breakfast like how they should be, which is always so sad.
That sounds like to me they have probably bad management.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figure. And I don't know if I've actually told this story on the stream before, but when the Taco Bell was being put in there, a lot of people in like the area protested because literally right across the street is this tiny little like amazing family-owned Mexican restaurant, and they started putting the Taco Bell in, and then like the owner of it, like sadly he passed, but his daughters are running it now. But at first, when you would go through, it would be like a bunch of people at the Taco Bell drive-through, but like no one was really going to the family-owned restaurant. It was really sad, but it seems to have kind of evened out now, which is good. Skill issue? Wait, what's the skill issue? The no Taco Bell breakfast? Honestly, valid. That is probably a skill issue. I just feel like I missed something or misspoke or something.
The last League Cup I went to was in a smaller town, as in you could drive right through it and not realize it.
Yeah.
They had right across the street from the card shop. The card shop's actually fairly new.
Oh, that's fun.
It's an amazing taco joint that's kind of chained up around here now. Like they've expanded. There's one near my house, and then there was one there. I was like, oh yeah. I just walked across the street. Got myself some burritos.
Oh yeah.
You missed us talking about food.
Yeah, you went to lunch and ate food, and you just come back to us talking about food.
There's a mall I go to on Tuesdays. The only reason I go to it is because I need to waste time before I can catch my bus.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to match something up. Okay. It's like a rich person mall.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in there and it's just like all the food places are like outside, like there's a Panda Express there for some weird reason. But almost all the food places there are like 50, $60 a plate easily.
Oh, geez. That's nuts. All of the fire energy. Bring them all back.
Like you go in there, there's like two that's where I'm looking for here. Electric car dealerships. So
Why didn't they ping active? What is happening?
He's not sure how to play. It's a very difficult deck to play.
You're not wrong. But like one ping.
That's all I needed.
I wish they would have seen that they could have just if they pinged active, they would have game here. They don't though.
Now they stand a chance of losing the act that
I don't think they can lose here, right? Because there's no way that their opponent can take 3 prizes in one turn.
no, especially considering the VMAX isn't. Well, now that their opponent just gave them almost game. Yeah, they just did because they just pinged the Charizard now. Oh wait, no, never mind. Can't ping it for game if you. I'm like, oh, he's gonna de-evolve the Inteleon and. Okay.
No, Crash. He needed to have pinged the active Radiant Charizard, and he had already pinged the Jirachi. I almost said Radiant Jirachi.
I played against someone recently. They kept trying to give me the Radiant Jirachi to KO to set up their board, and I kept working around it.
Does spike shooting need to go to the bench? Is that why? No, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Continue, Doom. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, they kept trying to make me hit into the Stellar Jirachi, so they could set up their board state, and I just put in Screamtail. I just picked off every single card he had on the pen.
Nice.
I'm just like, nope, you're never setting up. He's like, please just kill the Jirachi. We'll do
You're
anything.
like, nope, you don't get it.
It's like as soon as you see Radiant Jirachi, oh, there's a session anyways. You just kind of try to work around it. With that,
you just path or boss or.
We are just waiting on one more match. Oh wait, nope, there it was.
Oh.
There we go. Going last round. Who wants to be up for the last one? How about
One more round.
one more round? One more round. Yay! Cash, you want to come on? Just come on, Cash. 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 Zero that, or we watch Catherine go 6-0. See if they go 6-0. Actually, let's watch Catherine. They're the only one that could possibly be 6-0.
Okay.
We'll let you finish off with Mute tonight.
Yeah. Cash, you gotta stream next time. It's the rules now.
It's the rules.
You're off the hook for tonight. But be prepared.
You mean world's worst Chin Pao player talking about me? Because I don't play Chin Pao.
I was gonna say, and me. The only time I have played Chin Pao, it did not go well. If I gotta look at Catherine's list here. I might just be a thief.
Just take it.
I might just be a thief. Oh, going up against Control. Jam.
Oh, it's even Jam.
Wait, if you're still in stream, you should do the opposite side in stream. And also just a heads up. Okay, it's the version with 2 Fusion Strike energy, yeah. It just looks pretty like yep, I would play this going into
Good solid Mew deck.
Yeah, it's a solid Mew deck. I would maybe play a Feather Ball over a second Nest Ball, but other than that, it's yep, that looks like Mew to me.
gonna have to watch out Giacomo and Tomb. Well, they got the block, but they play like a bajillion switch cards anyways, right?
So they play one switch card, one switch, one escape rope. And then it's tough because like you also play the fusion energy, but you don't want to retreat with DTE because you don't want to discard. Giacomo.
Well, but Jam doesn't play Tomb, no, so that's not an issue. He's just trying to stay out, keep stuff out of the active that you don't want there. Which I guess with throwing out all your muses is actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, this is a definitely an interesting matchup because if you spam Judge and Path, then, you know. Oh, interesting. It can also be really tough to take knockouts with like Big Charm and like other things in play, because if your power tablets do get milled from Misfortune Sisters, it can actually be kind of tough.
Yeah. Misfortune Sisters isn't a broken mill card. We've seen broken mill cards have been banned. But it's still really good.
For sure. Oh, this is Pidgeot version, like attacking version?
Yes.
This is a really tough matchup for Mew, I think.
It's where like your path could come into play and really, really help.
Yes, and it's also just like tough because if they do, like it's tough because the path is so good, but also like if you just get stuck, if they mill one or two switch cards early or get rid of a DTE at a crucial moment with a Sydney or something, I don't know. Definitely it's interesting. Look at that chunky boy.
There's your path. Can't get out of the Roxanne. Don't want to burn the... I mean, you can burn the power tablets here and hope you... Or at least one or two of them and hope you get where you need to. Yeah, might as well. Okay, now you can burn a power tablet.
Yeah, and judging here is so nice. I would just judge, like... I mean, I think I would just straight up judge. What do you think, Doom?
I think so too. I don't see a reason to put the path down. Otherwise.
Yeah. We've got to have a switch out here. So being able to draw one last time might actually be really crucial. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a heads.
This is one of those moments where you wish you had boss as well. Oh, they put the Pidgey up.
Interesting. I mean, I guess you don't want to have two prizes go down that quickly, but the Pidgey seems so important. Also, I guess if their hand is pretty bad, like they might be valuing the instant charge.
They could also have a counter catcher in hand and could be trying to reset the block lax for now.
Hey, almost. I almost wonder if Psychic Leap there would have been good, like back into the deck, because like we can't get that DTE taken away.
Saving DTEs is very crucial.
Oh, I wonder if this is just because of how poor our hand is on Jam's side. I was going to say, Jam definitely knows that Max Miracle exists, so this has got to be like a throw up something I don't care about so I can try to reestablish the Pidgey, and it's to charge.
So, because like you said already, like Max Miracle exists, but they need to find another Mew.
That's true. They do need to get another VMAX in play to be able to copy it.
Right now, it does not look like they have it. Well, supposed to get past here. They did put the DTE on the the bench, whatever it's called. In a sec. Might be worth judging here.
Giacomo is looking mighty hungry.
No reason to pass. Sadly, this is the time when you probably do just need to pass here. You've tried, you've dug.
Oh, I guess we could energy mix, but then Giacomo is just even more detrimental. But I almost wonder if energy mix onto the Genesect so that they have to get rid of one or the other. And then we can just retreat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But if our opponent's going to counter catcher, obviously they're not going to bring up the one with energy.
No. It looks like they're trying to set up the block here. Yep.
Yeah, there's a boss. Oh, okay, let's just top deck it. We're chilling. Jeez Louise.
Every caster has a catchphrase of some sort. Yours is "Jeez Louise."
No shot. Is it really?
Yes.
Do I say that quite often, actually?
Anytime a top deck like something like that happens.
Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, okay, that's good to know. I feel like I have such random phrases that I say all the time. Oh, jeez. Everyone's like in chat, like, obviously, Emmy.
Every caster does. Like I, you know what? I honestly, I couldn't tell you what mine is right off the top of my head, but there's probably something.
I feel like whenever I'm trying to think of like during the match, but you're at the end, you're always like, and with that.
Yeah,
Like, that's how you like move on.
It's all right, I kind of picked that up from like Top Gear.
Mm,
And I was like, and with that, this is the end of the episode.
same here, day camp. I feel like I have like so many random vocal things. Don't put any more DTE in play. Stop it! No! Oh my gosh.
They play
This stresses me
Shakamo.
out. This stresses me out.
Too bad Giacomo isn't the cook.
Okay. If they put the last one into play next turn and don't get Giacomo, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Say holy catfish. Actually, I'm trying to remember. There was like a baseball announcer that was his catchphrase was holy catfish.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so silly.
My favorite baseball call, like one that was like the one that was their signature was anytime a grand slam would happen, Dave Niehaus, who was the Seattle Mariners broadcaster for the first like 35 years, he died like 10 years ago, sadly. He would go, he started just like yelling at me, "Oh, get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It's grand salami time."
Oh, that's funny.
And like it's so ingrained into like the Mariners stuff that it's just even the announcers now still use it. Which there is a Seattle Mariners art director job opened up today, and I need to apply for it still. I'm like,
You better.
It was it's an art director role, and I'm like, there's 3 companies I want to work for: Pokemon, Nintendo, and the goddamn Seattle Mariners.
That sounds pretty baller to me. Plus, you're like right there.
Right. I'm Seattle based. I'm like, I've got like 20 Mariners hats.
I was gonna say you've got to show up with your Mariners hat, the one you like normally wear.
That's still like 7 of them.
I didn't realize you had that many.
Yeah, I have 20.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a few.
There's I have all but like one of them that they've worn their primary uniforms, and then I have a whole bunch of the secondary ones, like they wore like for like turn ahead the clock night or all-star games or various other things.
That makes sense.
I mean, the last Mariners game I went to, I bought a hat.
I haven't been to a Mariners game in so long.
Ooh, are they out of Switch cards? Oh wait,
They might be. I mean, I think because their hand is so small, except for Pidgeot's set up now, so they can just go grab Giacomo. Oh my gosh, a Giacomo would actually be so detrimental here.
what if they prized it?
Prize Giacomo or prize the last TTE?
Both.
I guess we'll find out. Oh, the Mawile set up. They prize the last switch out then. No!
So that was our only 5-0. So we actually will not
Have an undefeated.
undefeated tonight. I am updating this. I am constantly updating the standings. I almost thought I just pressed delete round. I was like, oh no. Which is always the weird thing I've never liked about Swiss is that even if you beat someone, essentially you own the tiebreaker, you can still be behind them in the standings.
Right. I think that happens like quite often, especially with like juniors and seniors too, like with their resistance. Especially, I'm talking about like local events where they don't have their own like division. You know what I mean?
I think I've only ever seen juniors or seniors have a top cut like once. Which they all were like weird, like what do you mean we play more games afterwards?
Yeah.
We have a couple of our TOs here in Washington. We'll set it up so that there's challenges after, and the juniors.
Oh yeah.
So the juniors can get more points. Just like stick around, and then they play like a three round one.
That's honestly so good, especially for like Pokemon families, you know, like parents playing in the cup and the kiddos can still play.
Mm-hmm. So we're waiting on 2 matches to finish this out. Let's see. And they are Cash versus Nelson. Oh, they're the last one. Is either one of them still streaming? Oh, they're both streaming. We can go check it out.
Okay.
We see if how far into the game they are. Oh, this is almost done, but this is still a good one to jump into.
You're enhanced.
Amp you much. Oh, that makes sense in Jam. He said he prized both Pidgeots.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That is, but I mean it makes sense though. Let's see. Oh, there's one guy I've talked about him before. I watched on here, Bush Camp Dad, an Unreal player who, a Fortnite player who got to Unreal without like killing people.
Mm-hmm.
They recently, in the latest update, they changed it so that he can't win that way anymore.
A barrel!
A barrel, no!
No!
Not my little buddy.
He's just a little guy and he's about to get burning darkness.
Man, I really want to show like my Madoof work to more people. The one I did for the illustration contest.
Oh, you gotta wait.
Gotta wait.
Don't get disqualified.
And then I got that. I got the Fama case. That one wouldn't get me disqualified or anything. They would just remove me from the thing.
Do we? No, I was like, we don't have boss, do we? Four energy in deck. There's escape rope. We knock out everything on the other side. Cash! What are you doing? Escape rope! Yeah, we knock out everything. My boy.
Well, technically he knocks this out too.
Oh, you're so right. Not without the second electric, Blazy. You're so right. And now I'm so wrong. I forgot Arm Press is 2 electric, so we would have needed the second electric energy from the deck as well.
But he still had all
Never
the
mind.
water.
We're good.
He had all
We're
the water energy anyways, so.
We're chilling. Don't listen to me, Cash. I don't know anything about Pokemon.
I don't know anything about Chimpao. All right. That should be our last one. So we'll get our finalized standings here in just a moment. And that will be just waiting on this. See, 11:15, not too bad. Started at like what 8:35, so about a little more than 2 hours this week, but I mean, still doing pretty well. But here we go, end round. Finalize the standings here. Catherine S still takes number 1. So Mew does end up winning, but look at this, we end up with 5 once.
That's crazy.
That means we have to go on a top cut. I'm sorry. So yeah, all set there. We could. This is where I think the issue came. 4-0 drop screwed stuff up.
Right.
But so technically, Mew is our winning deck list tonight because it is number 1. So Mew, second to last. Tournament Doom in this format. Like, we are just almost done. Almost done with the format. It's almost it. And
Yeah.
so with that, where should I send everybody? Who's on tonight?
Uh,
I've been sending people to Otters.
yeah.
Oh, Sato's on. You know what? We'll send to Sato. He's a friend of the stream.
At Honda, we've chased down a lot of dreams.
So we'll send off that way.
All the way to our
Let me
introducing the all-new, all
raid. There we go. We haven't been in Josh Sato's stream before. He is a Pokemon based streamer. He does a lot of stuff. He does a TCG. He does a lot of giveaways, other stuff. Yeah, he might be sleeping. He is on an uncapped subathon, but it looks like he might be playing marbles right now. Have fun with him. We'll be back Friday, or at least I'll be back. I mean, you have this week off, right?
Think I'm actually here this week, but not
Not
next week.
because the next week's the
Obviously.
yeah, the next week is the Thursday stream, and I expect to run that one almost solo.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'll be able to do that.
All right, but with that, sending you guys off to Sato. Have fun and see you then.